John Liddle here for SWOSUathletics.com as it is almost basketball time in Western Oklahoma, Southwestern Oklahoma State women's basketball. Preseason ranked number 3rd in the Great American Conference, and in just a couple weeks they'll open up the regular season. Coach Kelsi Musick is our guest. Thanks for coming out today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, I guess I came to you, really. A little bit late.
Thanks for coming out for
us.
us.
Exactly. Just any time. Coach, exciting time. We've been talking about this season ever since the end of last season. Now that it's almost here, what's coming to fruition for you? What are you seeing that you thought might see at the end of last year? What's happening that you like at this point?
I think they're understanding. When you start a season with 11 new players, and it's just a lot of newness. We had, we won the championship in 2014, and then we lost all those seniors. You bring back a nucleus of kids that hadn't played a whole lot of minutes, minus Jessica Pinner, and it's just a little bit of a rebuilding year. And I thought that they handled a lot of adversity, but I think that the one thing that they do now is they understand the offense a lot better. And once you understand this offense, it just makes our whole system run from defense to rebounding to everything else seems to click whenever our offense is on point. So I think the biggest thing is the understanding of the offense with these younger kids that have had a year under their belt in our system. And then, signing of 3 really quality freshmen that should be able to step in and really help us. Well,
I know the end of last year wasn't perfect, but at the same time, we did start to see some of those offensive explosions like we had seen in years past. You think the light bulb is turning on then, and, maybe that kind of helped them see, this is what it's supposed to be.
I think so, and I think that that's one thing we focused on. I think we've stressed a lot in the off season and in this preseason the fact that we score points, and that's just what we do. And they're really starting to embrace that. They've been putting up a lot of shots on their own in this preseason, and you can definitely see in the few practices we've been able to really hold, since official practices started,
right,
that it's been nice to see them, embrace the fact that they have that green light, and the 3-pointers are going in the hole for a change, and it just makes everything flow a little bit better. Lots
of returners. What's the difference you see in especially the players that were coming in first year to the program last year, whether it be the couple freshmen you had, or the JUCO players that came in, or even D1 transfers? What's the difference you see in those players year 1 to year 2?
The biggest deal is confidence. They when you actually understand what you're doing, it gives you a sense of confidence, and I think they also have a sense of urgency this year, where last year they had it, but they didn't totally understand because it was so new. It was a new conference, a new school, a new everything to them. Even though some of them had been at a junior college, it's still new. And they had to learn a whole new coach, a whole new system, a whole new team. And I think that the fact that they're a little bit more comfortable here, they understand what we expect and what we demand, and the fact that they are definitely a lot more confident. Those are a couple of the biggest things I can see a difference in.
What do you anticipate the strengths of this team will be this year?
We're a little bit bigger, which is nice. I like the size that we have. Our speed looks really good right now. We might not win a foot race, but when you put that basketball in our hands, we can get up and down the floor pretty good, and I believe we'll be able to shoot it a little bit better this year.
And that's so key for you guys. When you've had shooters in the past, it's just such it is literally a game changer. It can boost your points per game average by 10, which means a big difference between a win and a loss, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and that's one thing that's got us by and got us to where we're at, is scoring a lot of points. And that's one of their goals this year is to get back to that regular scoring pace. And we had a few breakout games, like you said, towards the end of the season, in which we were able to score a lot of points. And you saw that light bulb; it looked like it was coming on, but we got to turn it on and keep it on.
Your team has played really well here at home, and yes, you've got a murderous early season schedule, even in the home games. But at the same time, playing these teams at home, how can that help you through this early season, you think?
I think it's really going to be to our advantage. If you're going to have to play some of those top teams that we're playing right out the gate, it's just a little bit more comfortable to play them on your home floor. It's a little bit more comfortable to sleep in your own bed and have a little bit more of a routine, whether it be, if it's on a school day, they have to go to class. They still have to do the same things that they've been doing, so they're not out of whack, where, going on the road initially, it causes a little, it's just different. And so I'm excited about this schedule. Yes, it's going to be tedious. It's going to be rigorous and hard, but at least we get to do it here at home in front of our own crowd. Hopefully a lot of people will come out and watch those big games that we have the 1st of November.
And what do you think about your team being picked 3rd? respect for your squad after last year. Not that it was a bad year at all, but
It wasn't
you
that
know,
good, John. It's
it
okay.
wasn't up to your standards,
Right.
though. You know, but what about the respect that people think you're going to finish in the top 3 this league?
You know, I appreciate that. I appreciate the respect that we have. I think that we've done a good job of building this program, and the girls earn that right. But at the same time, we didn't do as well as we needed to or should have last year. But at the same time, I think that the people in this conference and the coaches especially, they see what we're bringing back. Mm-hmm. They see the potential there, and we've just got to hone in, and we've got to be able to show that potential off.
Well, Coach Musick, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
John Liddle back with Jessica Penner, Southwestern Oklahoma State center, before this season gets underway. And wow, Jessica, hey, you're a senior already. First of all, that's ridiculous. But moving into your senior year, it has a chance to be one of the best you guys have ever had. Now, it is just, predictions and, speculation and things like that. But what makes you feel like this can be a really good season?
Well, I think this can be a really good season just because we have 10 returners. We've got 10 girls that know somewhat what's going on, and just the people that we're bringing in. Like Nina's coming back. She is on fire. All of the shots she's been taking, she can't miss, it seems like. But then Kylie's coming back, and just we've got an awesome group of seniors, and then just all of our 10 returners. It seems like we're an older, mature team, so I'm excited for that.
Now, you mentioned those players that are in their system, in the system for another year, and a lot of those players, it's their second year in the system, and it seems like players make the biggest jump from their first to their second year around here. We've seen that time and time again. Nina's one you bring up, but just with that going on, just how much different is, practice at this time this year than it was last year when you're bringing in all the new players that you had last season?
Right. I think practice is more, it's kind of review a little bit instead of just learning and really having to pound all the new stuff into our heads. Yes, we're learning new things, but it's more just review and critiquing the little things that need to be changed.
At the same time, at the end of last year, you guys started to play really well and started to turn the corner. You're a much better team at the end of the year last year than they were at the beginning of the year. How much did that encourage you?
It encouraged me a lot because of the chemistry that we brought together as a team. And now I think just because of the people that are here now and some of the people that we lost, like we have a better chemistry and we're all together instead of there being little cliques and things. We're all on the same page more now.
Smaller roster too. Do you think that helps with what you're talking about there?
I think so, yeah, because we are more of a family. It's not just a big group of a whole bunch of girls. We're more of a small knit type family.
Talking with Jessica Penner here, and the early season schedule, that's the closest thing to us, but it's, I don't want to say concerning, it's exciting and it's challenging for you guys. Not only do you have the Division I team in OU, but then you've got Emporia State, the number 1 team in the nation, to open up at home. Right after that, the two-step with Harding and Arkansas Tech. How does it make your head swim to think about that early season schedule?
It does a little bit, but I think Coach does a really good job in her scheduling and how she really wants us to. She really wants to set goals for us and hard goals. I mean, it's not necessarily that they're unattainable, but goals that we can just strive for and push ourselves for.
As far as strengths on the floor for this team this year, could you give us some of those? Where do you feel like this team could be strong?
I think we'll be really strong for rebounding. We've got Karina inside. She's got those long arms that can pull anything. And then Janae will be really strong for rebounding. And then outside on the three-point line, we've got a lot of good shooters. Like I said earlier, like Nina and Kylie. And some of our freshmen have been really good at hitting shots. And it just all comes down to our speed, too. So the speed that we have up and down the floor, I think we can outlast anybody. So.
Well, Jessica, we're looking forward to it. Thanks so much for talking with us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. That's Jessica Penner. Thanks so much to Coach Musick for talking to us as well for SWOSUathletics.com.